Right, let's get moving then. So welcome to the Monday Night Team Limitless call. It is November 26th. We're just coming off of the Thanksgiving little mini holiday. Hope everybody ate too much and needs to cleanse. That's the whole point. Are you cleansing, Lori? I didn't know what that shot was. Oh, that's the new e-shot.
Oh, let me see it. Oh, cool.
Yay.
Oh, I like that.
I know you took advantage of the 20% off on e-shots, right?
Oh yeah, buy one, get one free, 20% off, free shipping. I've spent a lot of money in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So we have asked Jen to be the keynote speaker tonight because Jen has a knack for a few things, and when she puts her focus on something, she knocks walls down. So we wanted her to share, some of her greatness and give everybody a little training, a little something, outside of what we provide, because you guys can listen to us go wah, 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 all the time. And it is so nice to have a fresh new face and new voice on here. So Jen is a 4-star Golden Circle, 2-star Crystal Executive, and has it been 4 years, Jen? She's been with us for 4 years. She's an absolute rock star. She's part of the Start 1000 Club. She's a 6-figure earner, and she is helping other moms out there all have options on being able to care for their children at home or care for their children in daycare.
Thanks. Before we kick it off, I have to honor, though, a couple people. First off, Josh and Lisa for achieving number 88 with a dash to Disney, which is incredible and just ridiculous. I have so much gratitude for you guys because I've learned, what I've learned from you guys paving the way and always being that example. So I'm very grateful for you always, helping me and the rest of the team stay on track. But yeah, they, just so everyone knows, because they were number 88, they earned the free Disney tickets, the free hotel, an extra $1,000 in spending cash, and an iPad. So yeah, congrats to you. And another incredible rock star, Crystal, also crushing it. She hit 163 in the company, also earned the free hotel and the tickets for her family. So I love seeing new people come into our team and completely crushing it and taking off with it. And that's one of the things, honestly, that inspires me the most is seeing that and seeing new people come up and new people emerge. And it just goes to show that anyone can do this when they put their heart and soul into this and really are just, authentic people and having a passion for helping people. And I can say for sure the Dunskys are those people. And, Crystal is also that person of just a heart of service and is another rock star mom that is, also paving the way and being a leader, an example for, other moms and families to have, opportunities and alternative ways of living. So I can't see Crystal, but congrats. Josh and Lisa asked me to just share a little bit more about connecting with people and building consultants. So I have to first ask, and let me see if I can do this screen so I can see everyone's faces. By a show of hands, who is guilty of being out and thinking, oh my gosh, I have to get this person. I have to start talking about isogenics. And you meet a really cool person, but that's the only thing you have going through your mind, right? We've all been there. We all do it. But I will say something that has helped me out tremendously is really going out with a mindset of who can I connect with today and who can I serve? And really going with a mindset of who can I, pass information of value to another person without expecting anything in return. Because I find that when I go out with that intention of connecting and meeting people, if I don't have that mindset, then it's really easy for me to think of, just, flashing Isogenics, and then I become that person, that, we don't want to be, because then people, are running from us because they see us as that person of just trying to sell them something. And I promise that this really is cleanse juice, dark cleanse juice, a dark concentration. And I want to give an example. So I think one of the other big things as a mom, especially, needing to learn how to just be extremely efficient with my time and the pockets of my time and connecting is when I'm just going out and living my day to day, I always have that intention of who can I connect with, right? And thinking again of how can I serve people. So I'm always creating a list. I don't have this in the other room, but I have my red notebook, right? My master red notebook of all the names and people that I connect with. And I will write it down, only if I have, because of their contact information. But I think it's so important to, have that master list, whatever that looks like for you, whether it's, they're still in my phone because I'm connecting with them on Facebook or I'm sending them a text message, but, having a system that works for you. And, for example, when you're out running and doing errands and so forth, I was at the new Stowe kitchen shop down the street, and I just, and I have to add, Growth U, I don't know who else here's doing Growth U, but that has helped me so much over the last, it's been 41 days now, of really getting my mindset back into the law of attraction and the law of vibrations. And so just having more power in when I'm going out and authentically connecting with people and really the intention of who I want to attract into my life. And so anyway, so I was out just running errands the other day, and I went into the Stowe kitchen shop. And I think because, my vibrational energy and just mindset is growing and shifting, I, just naturally attracted, one of the girls in the store that, helped me. And long and short of it, she ends up having Lyme disease and all these things. And I just got her number. I messaged her some resources and information. I was there again today, and she came over and just practically hugged me and thanked me for giving her this information because it's, helping her. And so I think, a big shift for me has been having those foundational relationships with people where, again, I'm not looking to immediately start talking about Isogenics. Now, do I know for sure Isogenics could serve her? Absolutely. I know that, and this is bits of information that I get from people too, and I will write them down in my contact card notes. But, she has Lyme disease. She moved to Stowe for a teaching position and coaching position, but she got really sick, so she wasn't able to do that. So now she's working in a kitchen shop, right? So she would absolutely be a great fit for this opportunity and so forth. But, I'm building that relationship and, going to meet her for coffee and doing that kind of thing first. And it really depends on the person and the relationship. Sometimes it makes sense to talk about it right away because the conversation goes that way. But I think, again, it's more of just the mindset of serving someone. How can you give something of value? And sometimes it could be something Isogenics, could come up faster and first. But that for me has been a huge shift and, and cultivating that list. And I think the other big thing is, is when you're following up with these people and cultivating those relationships, it's, you're not necessarily always talking about Isogenics when you are following up. And I think, a perfect example, just watching Crystal, for example, and, on Facebook and everything that she's doing, through her videos and through her social media engagement and stuff on Instagram. Like, you're connecting with these people. You don't have to constantly be talking about Isogenics to these people individually if you're doing a really good job of being consistent on the social media part. So for me, that I found was just such a big shift in my business this past year when I wasn't just, reaching out to people and just talking Isogenics. And do I talk isogenics all the time to people? Absolutely. But I've, and I am more forward and upfront about isogenics now. And I think, and Josh and Lisa, I don't know if you guys can chime in at all either, but I will say previously it's still important to create the curiosity, but I'm a little more forward and upfront about isogenics now, because what I'm personally finding is that when someone is ready to purchase isogenics, I'm getting more people just coming to me, or a friend referring of a friend, because they know that, I'm an isogenics, advocate, and it's something that I really love.
Yeah, Jen, so go ahead.
No, I agree with you. And, I think just because the tides have changed on social media, where everybody out there is offering something, so if everybody's kind of being curious, nobody knows who's got what. And so, to be loud and proud about isogenics now, I think is a little bit more appropriate than kind of keeping it really curious. I think that the only difference that we still keep the pricing curious, so that we have the conversation with them. But people are going to find ways, figure out what you're doing and Google it and do it, figure it out anyway. So we might as well just be open about it. And you're exactly right. It's that referral avenue, whether it's them or someone that they know. Oh yeah, I know a girl who does that. Let me put you in touch.
Right.
And I think there's a sense of people appreciate you coming to the table with an agenda. If you're up front, you're not trying to bamboozle them. I think, people are busy, and it kind of eliminates a lot of conversations that may not have to happen if you're just up front with them what your agenda is.
Right.
I'd love to set up an appointment. This is what I think. So.
Right. Yeah. And I think the other thing too that I also do more frequently upfront and forward is letting people know how much isogenics has blessed my life and blessed my family. And because, these strangers at the time shared something with me, I've been able to, move to Vermont, live at home, be at home full time rather with my, my son, and who is probably not sleeping right now. And so I will talk about that piece of it more. And I do get more excited about talking about the opportunity up front because of that. And so, again, it comes down to, having that relationship and that rapport with people. And being authentic, I think that is really it's so important, because, there's so many network marketing companies out there today, right? And I think so many people, other companies don't do it correctly. And so, as Josh kind of just said, I think it's a breath of fresh air when you're upfront and forward, but you're still just very authentic and very divine in your relationships and how you're doing it.
Jen, can I chime in there?
Yeah, go ahead.
I've seen you in action several times, and I'll tell you, your demeanor, your posture, you're so poised and you're so confident that no matter what they say, you're able to steer them in a direction, whether it's to get them more info, but you always make them comfortable, and that comes from what's inside you, right? So you can approach someone and be direct about that conversation because of your posture. And I think people pick up that energy. And so it's okay no matter what they say, but you just have a lot of, your demeanor is so great. And so, and I think it comes with experience also. You just have it down. You're not shakeable. No one can shake you up and tell you what you're doing. No, it's true. And I just want to commend you on that. And it's something that's admirable. And I look up to that also. It's pretty cool when you see that.
Yeah. That unshakable belief is something that you guys taught me 4 years ago, the importance of having that. And so to Josh's point, if you don't have that unshakable belief, then get on, isoproduct.com, go to isogenicspodcast.com and just start listening and watching all that stuff. And that's exactly what I did to start building that unshakable belief, and it just reminds me of the first time I was at Celebration with you guys, watching the Start group walk across the stage and, leaning over in the chair to you and saying I want that, I'm going to do that. And that's when I really just, got to work with building that unshakable belief so I could have that confidence. And I think the other big thing too that Lisa had brought up, and I guess I realized it is something that I do a decent job at, is customizing my plan for people. And I find personally, I attract right now a lot of moms and a lot of nursing moms. So your conventional 30-day system isn't something, even though I hands down believe in it, right? And really almost like everything in it they can consume. I often will put together like a variation plan for a new mom. And often it will be the customized value pack. So there still are some PIVs attached to it, but I do that. And what I do is I set the foundation and the expectation that once you're done nursing, or once you're at it, you try these products and you're comfortable with them for you and your baby, and you'll see how much you love them for you and your baby. Just give it a month. Then I encourage them to enroll their spouse and then purchase a system under their spouse. And so I have a lot of moms that did that, where initially they might have not have been comfortable, right? Because they're still nursing, and you have to respect that. But I then lay it out, that expectation, or that you're gonna love this stuff, and when you do, you're gonna want to buy a pack, and when you do that, I'm gonna help you get some money back right away. And then that's when I help them share it with one more person, and I create the consultant, right? And then helping them get paid. So that, again, I tell them how I started. I tell them that, which was on a value pack. And I tell them when I did a reset, postpartum, a year postpartum, I bought myself another value pack, and Andrew and I did it together. So, I tell them what's important, and then give them a customized plan that makes sense for them. And then often within 2 to 4 weeks, they're enrolling their husband, and then they're buying the system. So I think, going with that intention too sometimes is okay. And especially for creating the consultant piece, to me, that was just always, it made it an easier outlet to get someone like in the door, right? But then you're still going to have the business volume going in your downline. And, creating the consultant piece of it, I, am always stressing the importance of the business volume. And, I share with people that, I personally, have, it's probably like maybe, let's just say I personally enrolled 200 people over the last 4 years, right? But my downline is, about 2,500. And so like, I'll set that expectation too. It's like, it's people sharing with people, having great, product experience and loving this product and food. And, that's what makes, the retention and how I can help you get this food paid for. So, for me, it's really stressing that up front, early and often, and then, helping them enroll their spouse. And then when they do that, to create the consultant and get the double PIVs. And I will say with like all the moms and so forth that I've done that, they're loyal product users. They're now, buying the food for themselves, for their husbands, and for their kids. And that, the other big thing is just being a product of the product and posting on social media. Because they see how Chase is, how healthy he is, how happy he is, and he's always eating this food, it does give other moms, I think, more comfort and permission to do the same thing for their kids. And so that's an important piece as well. But I think, the systems hands down are so important. However, I think if you set the expectation right, it's okay to get them started with something, and then 2 weeks from now, enroll in a value pack. Does anyone else ever, I guess, share in that way, or have had success sharing in that way? Or thought about sharing that way?
I love that, because it also shows your customer that you are not trying to grab that, bonus by enrolling them. You're not being selfish about things. You're telling them like, listen, I want you to be on what's right for you, and I'm going to show you how to get that back, down the road by enrolling your spouse. It ensures that they're going to enroll their spouse. And by telling them, you know, right then and there, I'm going to show you how to get $25, $50, $100, and really showing them that money right away, and it being about showing them the money, not how much money it's going to generate for you. Not that we talk about that, but people can feel it, whether or not you're talking about it. So when you're talking about helping them get money, it really changes the dynamic, and it sets that vibration of this person is going to become a consultant. So I love that.
That's awesome, Jen. Anybody have any questions or comments?
Oh, Crystal missed when Jen was giving her a shout out.
Yeah, you got some accolades, Miss Crystal.
Yeah.
For Disney.
Sorry, thank you. I was doing an enrollment.
Okay. No excuse.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Was it a Disney shout out?
Well deserved, yes.
Thank you. Thank
And
you, Jen.
I just have to say how much you're inspiring me. And I love to see like you know, coming in and just crushing this, and you're taking your entire family to Disney, and you're such a hard worker, and you're such a rock star mom.
You make me cry.
I still remember the first, like literally at the Dunsky retreat, right? Another reason to go to the Dunsky retreat.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal was invited like last minute by Eliza Hale, and I remember pulling into the driveway, and he was like, "Who's that girl?" And I was like, "I don't know. She's gonna be a new friend, I think."
Yes. Well, thank you for reaching out and helping me, because I'm always like, what would Jen say to this mom? What would? So thank you. Thank you. Yeah, actually, I'd like to share that I just enrolled somebody today who is enrolling her husband and her mother, because I wasn't afraid to have that conversation. And that's like so new. It's just so new. So I'm glad that I have gotten confidence from all of you guys. Thank you.
Awesome.
About the team, inspiring each other, supporting each other. So great.
Yeah.
So, anybody have any other comments for Jen? I mean, she's you know, we've seen Jen explode. What did you went the first time you went executive? You've gone executive a few times. The first time you did that was a couple days. Was it a week? What did you do?
11 days.
11 days, and literally 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. So it's, you know, you can explode like that, but you have a strategy and a plan to be able to build with stability also, because you can do both of those, which is very important in certain situations. So you can teach us a lot, and that's why one of the reasons why we want you on here is for people to hear what you do.
I personally have gone to executive 3 times. Crystal executive. My account, mistakenly I did it in Andrew's account, but I still got his account to executive, but which is fine. It all works out right at the end of the day. And then again this past year. So, and I know like Lisa Dene and other, you know, rock stars and Isogenics also stress the importance of doing that. And I mean, I have to say, because I did that, because I've gotten better at building my relationships, and then going to executive and maintaining that, you know, it is why, you know, I've been able to earn 6 figures over the last 12 months being at home. And it's, you know, truly it's being a product of the product, and never going a day without doing that first, because that's always the most important. And then, you know, it really is just like, you know, like they're teaching in Growth You, going outside and reminding you to smile and talking to someone. And, you know, it's kind of that simple. I think we just overcomplicate it.
Awesome. So everybody give Jen a big group hug. Thank you so much for all your knowledge and your support and your friendship. You're an amazing person, and tell Andrew said hello. And we miss you guys, and we'll see you in a couple weeks, I guess. What do we got?
Oh,
January. NYKO. Yeah. If you don't have your tickets, get your tickets.
Jen, are you going to be coming out of Boston? Is that what you meant by that?
I haven't decided yet. I'm going to do Boston or Vermont, but
let's keep in touch about that.
We'll
try to coordinate.
Anybody else have any last minute anythings before we jump off?
I have a quick question for Jen, if I can ask one.
Yeah.
Can I just ask you, I'm still figuring out when to switch people over to associate. I'm trying to do it like when they, as of today, I'm trying to do it when they enroll. When do you switch people over to associate? Do you have that conversation and do it like when you enroll them, or is it later on?
It totally depends on the person, the conversation. If I'm having a very business conversation with, I mean, first off, I love the new customer first program, and that we have 90 days to have that true, authentic conversation with them to make sure that we do flip the switch, that we're setting them up for success and they're ready to run at that time. So I actually tell people, I know you're excited about, earning residual, right? And building this business. However, do not switch your account over to an associate until you have your first person, right? So when you have your first person, then make that switch. So, and you can create the urgency, and when you have the next person over the next week, make that switch, but do it 5 minutes before, whatever, the day before, not even the day before, do the same day, so you can help them maximize, just maximize with the Crystal Executive dates, right? Because that's the huge thing. It's just giving them a little bit of that buffer to give them, an extra day or two for when they're running. So I do wait until they have their first person, but then if they're in this situation that you just shared, and then like you had a family, a person enroll their family members and so forth. So you have them do it in that case, do it right away.
That's unusual.
Right.
Yeah. I've got tons of people who don't want the business and they're not interested in sharing. But then it's like at that 3 to 6 month mark, I'm like, well, you should really do this. And they're like, what? Well, why? Because then
and at that time, and I just get the emails from Isogenics saying you have a person holding volume. So what I'll do is I'll go into my back office, I'll go into the tree, and I'll see how many people they have in their downline. And I'll be like, hey, you've been eating this food and loving this food for the past 3 months. Like, you actually have, 25 people in your downline and this much money built up, or, volume built up. Would you like me to show you how you can tap into it? Are you interested in getting some of your food paid for? So then you have that conversation, and you said, and then they convert to the associate to do that. And then that's when you just say, and I love saying this, do you want your referrals in the form of cash or product coupons, right? And most people prefer the cash, and they'll convert to an associate. So that's personally what I do, but I don't know if Josh or Lisa have any different guidance.
Yeah, we show them the money. If they're not interested in the business, we say, this is how much money you have. Do you want to save it or do you want to lose it? If they want to save it, you say, great, we're just going to click a button. You're going to put in 2 pieces of information and watch a quick video, and then you'll save the money. You don't have to understand any of it. Let's just do this.
Do you do that when you enroll them, Lisa?
Not unless they want the business right away.
Okay.
Or they have someone to enroll right away. If not, I let them go as preferred customer, because they can go underneath 100 BV and still save it, which is huge.
Yeah, that's the other thing that's amazing that Isogenics did that too, is like, I will stress that urgency for them. If you're really loving this food in 3 months and want to get your stuff paid for, then we want to make sure you're keeping your account at, a minimal level to earn that bonus. We're going to talk about that, within the next 2 months.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
I just plant those seeds, but I, kind of talk fast, and then I'm just following up with them and checking in with them later.
Awesome. Jen, thank you so much. We have to end our call tonight with you all. We'll see you back here at 8:30 next Monday night, and keep doing what you're doing. And that's it.
See a few of you on the next call.
See you on the next call. Bye, guys.